friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today is a tutorial using the JUVIA'S Saharan blush palettes. Some of you have requested that I film a tutorial using these shades. I had mentioned that I will be more than happy to do so in my swatch video. I will link the video up above and also down below to see just the swatches and my thoughts on these palettes. Today we use volume 1 on the eyes and use volume 2 on the rest of the face. I also use volume 2 on my lower lash line to give it some punch. These colors are stunning. I think they apply very well on face and eyes. You can go super creative with how you apply, how you combine these shades, and they apply beautifully. I would say the only color I had to work on building is Abby, and of course this is meant to be a blush palette, and because I wanted it to be a defining shade on my lid, I had to work with it a little bit, but I wouldn't think to apply so much on my face. So I have to remember that depending on what I want the shadow to do will determine what brush I have to use, how much building I have to do. Also, before we go in, quick hair updates. I mentioned in my Jane Carter Hydrate Creamy Leave-In Styling Smoother review video that I wanted a little more hydration. I tried some things. I added oil over it, and I think that took away some of the defining benefits from the product. And then I remembered that Jane Carter Solution also has her Healthy Hair Frizz-Free Styling Smoother. This is designed to apply before any styling product, whether it be a Jane Carter one or from another brand. And I forgot how beautiful this product applies. The texture is silky, it feels like butter, and it detangles seamlessly and really adds a nice boost of moisture before you apply your styling product. I did that today in shower and my hair feels a lot better. It has just the right amount of moisture that it doesn't feel greasy. It still feels light. The styling smoother did not take away from the creamy leave-in, and with that, these work beautifully together. If you have both, I would highly suggest that you apply the styling smoother before the creamy styling smoother. Creamy this, styling that, smoother this, la la la. I think they work well together. My hair is shiny, it's soft, it has movement, the definition's still there. If you want to see a demo of me applying these two and how it looks after it dries, let me know down below. But without further ado, if you want to see how we got this eye and face look using the JUVIA'S Saharan blush palettes, then keep on watching. I've already prepped my skin with BB cream, powder, did my brows, and prepped my lids. Starting with some powder just under my eyes. If any fallout happens, we'll be able to brush it off without it sticking on our skin. Starting with the Saharan Blushes Volume 1 to start with the eyes, I will first take this color Neo. It will go in with Smith 232, one of my favorites. There is a lot of kickback in the pan, and to kick off some of that before going in on your lid. This shade is like a brick red and makes a really nice transition color. Taking a fluffy blending brush, this is a Morphe E27. I'm gonna run over the edges in case when we apply the eyeshadow skipped some. We're gonna smooth that out. With a smaller brush, a Luxie 229, going in that same Neo shade and deepening my outer crease, or my outer V, I should say. Effective eye looks all come from layering, especially when you're blending a ton. You blend out a lot of the color and we'll have to go back in with more shadow for it to show. Now with Abby, really nice plummy brown shade that I'm taking to the outer V and start to pack this in. Once we get some on there, I take circular motions, very light touch, to diffuse the color out. And we do the same thing to the inner corner. And again, light pressure so the shadow doesn't skip or apply splotchy. After we've applied Abby, I go back in with my Smith 232 with some of the Neo shade and further buff out the edges. And again, with that same light pressure and circular motions, we blend it out. Now for the fun parts with Lila and Zara, these beautiful shimmer shades. We take those on a flat shader brush. Where is she? My Luxie 239, first in the Lila shade. Get in there. And with some Max Fix Plus, you know, it is the mandatory step with shimmer shadows. On the edge of the Abby shade, can we talk about this color? It is phenomenal. The tone of it is perfect. I can't explain it. It's simply beautiful, without a doubt. And the way it pairs with the red and plum brown shade is perfection. Then with Zara on that same brush, I tap to the center of my lid. I pretty much combine both shades because they're both stunning, and when mixed together they have a beautiful effect on the lid. And if we see that we've lost some of our Abby shade, I go back in and just carefully build that color. Like I said, it's all about the layering and the blending. Now that we have the lid on, let's brush off the bake, and any fallout that might have happened will brush off as well. To complete the lower lash line, using Neo, now with a Luxie 231 brush, one of my favorites to apply shadow to the lower lash line. Is the perfect size, and it doesn't blow down too much, and you still have control over the application. Ooh, I forgot. Wait, abort mission! I wanted to use Zane, this hot pink shade. We can still salvage it. Taking a small shader brush that's without a label or a number. Sorry. We dip into Zane, this beautiful hot pink shade, and now apply that to tighter into the lower lash line. This is gonna be like our pinky color. I'm going half. Some onto the inner corner and some to the outer on purpose, because we will apply the gold shades to right here, center of the lash line. Now with Neo again, we smoke that pink shade out. And with Abby, our dark brown shade, just to the outer corner. Right there, right at the tip. And I am still with the same brush. I'm connecting from top to bottom, going back and forth, and slowly creating this V. We will blow this out more, but we're primarily just laying the color down first. This pink shade is outstanding. Beautiful pink shade. And equally as beautiful as a blush, which is what it's packaged to be. I can't wait to use it though on my whole lid, or maybe use it on the crease next time. So many possibilities. With this small pencil brush, this is a Morphe E36, back in those gold shades, because now we are applying that to the middle of our lower lash line, and the pencil brush gives us the most control, and definitely using Fix Plus so that gold can pop. I'm pulling it down a bit, not a whole much, just enough so that you can see the color there. And if you went down too far, use your finger just to buff out. To further blow this eye look out, using Toby, this beautiful tangerine shade, back in with a Smith 232, dip into that, and now brushing the edges to wing the shadow out. And we take our fluffy brush with no product on it to further smooth out the edges. And if you see that the shadow went too far up, I go in with some loose powder on that same fluffy brush to clean it up a bit. And sometimes it just, you know, just runs away from me. And that really helps to smooth out the shadow if it got a little too crazy. To complete the eyes, simply curl your lashes, go in with mascara or falsies. I am teaching class today and I will only go in with mascara because that just seems like the more practical choice. All reliable, two-phase waterproof. I need to get another one. She's running low. I apologize for the background noise. It's raining here again, but it's windy as well, and it's just terrible outside. I'm not looking forward to going outside. Continuing on with the face, which will kind of be a first impressions because I have not yet dipped into Yara, and I'm curious to see how it shows up on my skin tone. It does look like a bronze shade compared to the other shades in here. Don't know if it will show up orangey, golden, so we're gonna find out. Taking my Benefit Hoola bronzer brush, which has been my favorite thus far with applying bronzers. Now with the shade Yara, there's some kickback here. I'm gonna pull the hair back. Not bad. It's not super brown. It does come off a little orangey. I don't mind. If I wanted a little more brown, then I'll go in with my Becca Ipanema Sun. But it does give me that warmth. And I feel it will make for a lovely crease shade, don't you think? If you want to go more simple with the eye look and you wanted to use it for the eyes, you could just dust that on and call it a day. That could just be your lid. When I'm applying it to my forehead, it appears really lovely. It gives me a nice warmth. I like this shade. Not too bad. I feel like I've been kissed by the sun. Like I always do, I take a fluffier powder brush and buff out the application because sometimes, even if you don't see it look splotchy, it's just a nice step to take, eliminating that risk of looking splotchy altogether. I really, what should I use? Okay, for the sake of demoing, I will apply B, a really nice plum shade, higher on my cheekbones. And I'm going in with a Morphe M509. So you can see how that applies. It's very light, very subtle, but I see it on my skin for sure. It's hard because I'm in front of my window and it's very light, so it's blowing out a little bit of the color. In real life, it gives a nice plummy look to the cheeks. With the same brush, now mixing Leena and Tao, this apricot and carnation pink shade, now to the apples of my cheeks. And I'm going in with this brush because it has longer bristles and will apply lighter. If you want more of a denser application, then you will use a denser powder brush. I did that the other day and got a little too much blush on my face, so I feel with this formula, as pigmented as it is, I'd rather use a longer bristled brush to apply these colors. And as we do, buff, buff, buff. For the blush toppers, now Sola is really intense. Let's just see how it goes. I'm actually going to apply Sola to my lower lash line. I wanted to do this before and I forgot. I'm taking the same flat shader brush we applied that matte hot pink shade with. Dip it into Sola. Now our metallic hot pink. Spritz with some MAC. And then just dab onto my lower lash line. I know we already have mascara on there, but that's pretty. That really bumped up the color payoff on the lower lash line. Because I wanted to keep the cheeks nice, light, and flush, I thought Sola would have been a little too much. It will just show up ultra shimmery on my cheeks. That's why I'm applying this shade on my lower lash line to include it in on the party, you know? For the blush topper, going in with Zoba using an Anastasia A23 brush. This is a rose gold sheen. And look how beautiful that comes off. I applied a little too much because my camera decided to, or I just decided to forget to press record. So I applied a little too much because I wanted to show you guys how it went on. But no worries, we're just gonna buff that out. The palettes didn't have a highlight shade for my skin tone, so we're using Colored Rain's, sorry, it's too light, there we go, the new focal point highlighters. This is in the shade Selfie. This highlighter, just hold on, just you wait. Ugh. I am planning to film a top 5 highlighter video. This will definitely be on that list. It is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous color. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful. A little bit on the forehead. Not a ton, just a touch. Just to show that we're gleaming. One more buff for the win. A spritz of Fix Plus. For lips, Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Color Splash Hydrating Lipstick in Colada. To add pop on the center of my lid, Maybelline's Beige Babe number 545. Dose of Colors Lip Gloss in Undressed. To clean up the edges, Kat Von D's Everlasting Lip Liner in the shade Bow and Arrow. And that's the finished look. Thank you friends for joining me today. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And feel free to suggest any tutorials using different palettes, single products, whatever you have in mind, let me know down below. I'll be more than happy to film. And until then, I'll see you on here again. Bye!